Good afternoon, Redemption's Blueprint. We are out here in beautiful Utah, Draper, Utah to be exact. We have the famous John Jackson. I met John Jackson back in 2024 after we got a hold of him. He was digging into the Hustle 2.0 program, taking character development and leadership classes back into the prison systems. Had to meet him. John, I couldn't be more excited to be here with you today. Interstate Roofing, Utah. Stop in and see some of the guys, some of the reps. We're gonna pick up some t-shirts and some hats. And hopefully, if we get enough time, we're gonna do some door knocking, maybe sign a contract tomorrow, put it in John Jackson's name. Let's see if he wants to come on board with us. I don't know. But we're out here doing the Hustle 2.0 things. We may as well stop by the Interstate Roofing office, say what's up to everybody here.
Yeah, guys, I'm Bob Schober. I started in the industry under Scott Ryapel, who started Interstate Roofing out of Colorado, and I started with him 16 seasons ago. And learned the business, went to Arizona, opened up shop. We launched Pro West. We grew Pro West to over $50 million a year, and then we partnered with Peterson Partners, which is up here, One Solutions, and now we're just kind of growing around the country. Adam came on board to Pro West probably a year and a half ago, and in that year and a half, Adam has created a team underneath him of how many people right now? 115 people underneath him. Part of the reason that we wanted to sit on this meeting is to kind of show you guys what's possible, right? And kind of just give you a little bit of what we got going on in Phoenix. If you go to Phoenix, Arizona right now, I think it's more of a movement than a roofing company, right? And there's a lot of really cool stuff happening. Adam, you want to give a blurb about where you're coming from and what you're doing to grow your team like that, and then I'll jump back into the sales piece.
Sure. I've been directly and indirectly associated with over $100 million in claims over the last 4 years from hiring people from the prison systems. The guys work really hard, the work ethic. We don't stop. We have got, and this is no knock to this place, you will not find us inside of an office Monday through Saturday, just because it slows down what we have going on. This year we've done $20 million in claims already in Arizona with the team. Since we've been at Pro West, we've done just under 50 million, and that's a year and a half period of time. Dude, I love sales. I love door-to-door sales. I love roofing. I love what it's done for me and my family and for the gentlemen around me and I surround myself with. I am like a go-getter. I wake up super early in the morning. I get my coffee. I'm on the phone with my guys. Where are you at? What are you doing? I'm in my truck, and sometimes I don't come home for weeks. It's like a true story. I'll find an Airbnb somewhere, and I'll get the guys in there with me in a city, in a town, pay for it. I have no problem doing that. The company compensates me. Even when I was just a manager making manager pay, they compensate me well enough for me to take care of my team as they're trying to take care of themselves. We'll get housing, different locations, send these guys out, and we door knock all day long. I'm a huge proponent on social media. I believe that anytime you get up on a roof, I want to see you guys putting that video up on social media. I don't care if you sign it or if you don't sign it, but you're on top of a roof. That's a blessing in itself, right? At least you got on one. I was on 3 roofs this morning before we got here. We stopped and did some door knocking and ran a lead and then did a couple door knockings. And dude, I love the industry. I love what it does for people. You got to have like a certain mindset to be a door knocker and to go by and get told no. You got to be very competitive and motivated. But the sky's the limit inside these rooms and inside this industry. So that's just a little bit about me.
We're in 12.5 states. I think every place might be a little bit different as far as how exactly we do things, but in essence, it's all the same. Can you bring up the numbers just to kind of...
Yeah.
Do you guys turn on the AC on those roofs?
Fuck yeah.
In July, August?
It's miserable, dude. We're miserable, but
If it's 120 down here, it means 180 up.
100%. But we're on the roofs all the time. I mean, all the guys seem to like, exotic cars and nice watches and I mean, we've had a half a dozen guys last year make $600,000-700 grand.
That's
right.
Nice.
Just sales guys like yourself doing nothing different than what you guys are doing.
That's right.
So it's there if you want it. The sky's the limit. Like, how did you get into the business?
That gentleman right there, I Ubered, right? I gave him a ride, and on our way to drop him off, he talked to me about what I do for a living other than Uber.
Yeah.
So I told him I just left the car business I was at for 35 years. So I'm looking for a job. Sean says, well, maybe you need look at this.
Yeah.
So he had me his card, he says, I'll have one of my manager reach out to you. And that was this guy, and he did.
That's awesome.
That's how, and I'm here about, 3 months now?
Do you like it?
I love it,
You good at it?
love it. Oh, yeah.
I love it.
Learning.
That's awesome.
It's
See, and
growing in me,
that's
and
the
I love
perfect, like, that's how I am. Whether I'm at Starbucks, whether we were filming a Redemption Blueprint episode with that Jill girl, whatever it is, any waiter, any waitress, I can't tell you how many people came into this industry from waiting tables that I recruited from giving a large tip to, right? Here's $100. How do
Yeah.
I can't take that. What do you mean you can't take that? We start talking about how much money do you make, what do you do, blah, 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 right? So my recruiting machine is always on. There's 2 ways to get rich in this business. And selling 15 square and 20 square houses, that'll make you good money, but you're not gonna get rich that way.
Right.
If you wanna get rich and you want residual income, then the focus needs to be on the team like Adam's talking about. Adam could take off for 2 weeks, he won't, because he's a workaholic, and he's still gonna make the exact same money. He can take off for 2 months, and you're still gonna make the same money. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
Should I hide my lies and keep on running? Take my chances, all unknowing. I smile, but life is misery. I hide my pain in this melody. They see my scars and all run from me. I don't know what they want from me. Can I find peace? Yeah, will they finally see me? Can I love myself? 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 Can I love myself?
Welcome to this beautiful
I like it.
and out in Utah. When we originally met and you flew down from Utah to come down to Pro West, we heard your story and knew some of the old John from what you have told us. And I don't see it. I don't envision it, right? The John that's in Pelican Bay, the John that's serving 18 years, the John that is lost. So it's very remarkable where you've came this day. But when we venture back into that prison sentence and getting released from Pelican Bay and the transformation that took place inside there, what do you remember of that? And you let go of a lot of things. But when you do that much time and you're around hardcore convicts in a hardcore prison system, sometimes that's not the cool thing to do, and sometimes that's out of the norm. But you definitely transformed from there. What do you remember from that time, and what took place when you said, I'm done. I don't want to do this anymore. I'm not comfortable. I don't feel comfortable. I want to get out. I want to provide for myself and a family and just build a future for myself.
So some of the things that I remember were knowing that I was meant for more, knowing that I had much more to offer myself and the world other than just being in prison. I'm really grateful that at the time there was a shift happening at Pelican Bay where people were starting to program. People were encouraging one another to go to programs. People that had an influential voice were saying, hey, there's a different way. You could do something different, but you better be all in with that. Right? No half-stepping. You're either in or you're out. So, and it's funny you say like you can't see that, John. And I think something that I love is for the past 2 years, I've forgotten the day that I was released. Like my friend, my brother Casey, he sent me a text message like, congratulations. I was like, for what? He's like, man, it's been 6 years. I was like, I forgot. And I love that I forgot. It wasn't even important to me. It is important, but I don't remember it. I didn't remember it. I was probably in prison that day or doing something else with Defy. So I don't remember. It's hard for me to envision that I was that person either, that I had committed acts of violence, that I was involved with criminal activity, that I did those things. My wife said the same thing, like Mr. Rogers. I think she's like, I think you lied about all that stuff anyways. I don't think it was true. And I think that's a beautiful thing that I don't remember, that I can't even see that old me. It's no longer, I think I took those ugly parts and I was able to turn them into something beautiful. It's what allows me to connect with the people I serve, the people who are currently incarcerated. It's what allows me to just love them, even when I'm upset with them sometimes, for the choices they make. But those things that I can't see myself being, or that person that I used to be, is what allows me to do my job so well, of serving people who are currently and formerly incarcerated.
That's awesome. Now, Hustle 2.0 was like the first program. When Kat came in to Pelican Bay and started initiating some programming and talking to the guys, the Hustle 2.0 program was built.
It was actually Defy at the time.
Oh, it was Defy at the time?
Yeah, so she brought Defy to Pelican Bay in 2017.
Okay.
We didn't have any programming there at the time. It was lockdown facility, and you've met her, so you know she's a force of nature, and she advocated to have it on every yard. Every yard at Pelican Bay would have Defy, or nobody would have it. And she convinced the warden at the time, who was a really amazing warden. His name was Ducart. He really cared, and he advocated to bring the program to every yard at Pelican Bay. So I had the opportunity to enroll there, and that's how I got introduced to really programming that really impacted me differently. Defy is an entrepreneurship program, and it helped myself and about 100, 200 other people who were incarcerated there see that they had a unique skill set as entrepreneurs. We've just been doing it the wrong way, misusing our skills for all these years. That first cohort or class that we had at the time of entrepreneurs in training, many of us have gone home. Like one of our graduates, he works for the mayor in Los Angeles. Another one started his own company. They've gotten out and they've gone on to do really great things. So that first cohort was a very, very strong cohort.
Then how did the Hustle 2.0 program evolve?
So Defy went away from Pelican Bay after Kat left. Defy no longer wanted to support that facility up there, which is really unfortunate. And Kat didn't want to give up on Pelican Bay. She knew that the individuals there had a lot of influence, and she knew that if you really want to create change within the gang and criminal lifestyle, Pelican Bay was the place to do it. So she started another program, Hustle 2.0, and we named it. We got to name it Hustle 2.0. We launched it. We started writing the curriculum while we were incarcerated. We were designing the books, coming up with the characters, just doing it all up there together in a computer lab at Pelican Bay. And we started it. The difference between Hustle 2.0 and any other program is that it was ours. We wrote it in our voices, not by some random person who's never been to prison and doesn't freaking know what it's like to be incarcerated. Like, you have no idea. I don't care. You can say whatever you want. You don't know. You just don't know.
I agree.
You never will know. I don't care what studies you read or data you research. You don't know. And you can't. There's no way that you can relate to us in that way. You can help us, but you can't truly meet us where we are because you've never been where I am. So that is what felt so empowering from Hustle 2.0, is that this was ours. This was something that had our names on it, not anybody else's. Yeah.
I love that. I love that. It's funny because, not knowing about the prison system and the outside world, and they have, at least in Arizona, people called counselors. Like,
Yeah.
you go to your counselor. I remember my mother in my first prison sentence when I was locked up, she'd say, well, can't you talk to your counselor? And I'm like, they're not counselors. They just say that. And she's like, aren't you programming in there? It's like, well, the CO3 runs the program, and it's hour-long session. She doesn't know what she's doing or talking about. She tries, or he tries. They give it their best effort, but they can't connect.
They're working with what they have, and they're coming from a different perspective. They're coming from a perspective that their job is to come in here and fix you because you're broken, there's something wrong with you, you're bad, you're a criminal. It's not coming from and very rarely do you meet an officer. It's becoming more common, but years ago, very rarely did you meet an officer or a correctional officer who genuinely cared about a person's transformation or rehabilitation. And to their credit, why would they? Why should they? They invest in someone, they care about them, and then we go do something stupid. And it's like, well, I can't keep investing in these guys because every time I do, they go, they fight, they stab, they do drugs, they do all this other stuff. So I'm not going to invest in them anymore. So to their credit, like, I don't blame them.
Yeah, me neither. When you were talking about that, I was thinking about Sergeant Collins and all the time that he had invested in the fire crew and the guys that were on there, and taught us so many things. And one of the officers, and then Soto as well, was his right-hand man, and we had Aaron's in there and a couple other people. And it's kind of funny, like the glimmer of hope that you get when an officer who you're supposed to, like, you respect on a level of like business when you're in there as far as an inmate and a CO, but those officers who treat you like human, like humans, and are respectful back to you, it's like a glimmer of hope, like, wow, I do kind of fit in. I do belong somewhere. People do care. That's very interesting.
All it takes, it sounds really simple, but all it does take is for somebody to care, somebody to choose to invest in you, somebody to choose to treat you like a human and call you by your name. I mean, it sounds really simple, and it is. Like, just call me by my name. I'm not an inmate. I'm not an offender. My name is John. Like, I got a name. Like, it's really that simple. And when I first was released, it felt weird for people to call me by my name. Like, John. It doesn't sound weird now, but at the time, like, first being released, it's like, I almost forgot to answer to my name sometimes because you're so used to be either called by a number or being called by my gang name or anything else except for your actual name. So that is one thing I remember post-release that took some getting used to.
Yeah. Today, 6 years later, formerly incarcerated for 18 years, who is John Jackson?
Who I am as a person, I'm deeply empathetic to the people that I get to serve. I believe strongly that they are one of the most overlooked talent pools in the country, that they have this innate ability to overcome, that everything that they have been through is just setting them up for an amazing future. As I also now don't lead with I'm formerly incarcerated.
Yeah.
That does not, when I was first released, that used to define me. Today, that does not define me. What defines me is the work that I get to do in serving people who are currently formerly incarcerated, and serving people who have been victims of crimes as well. I do see a part of my person who I get to interrupt generational cycles, and I get to help the people who are incarcerated so they don't create more victims, which is a part of my living amends. I get to prevent other victims from being created. Because the people that we serve, if I don't serve them, they don't get the tools they need. And they go out, they get released, and they engage in the same behaviors they were engaging before. So I'm very confident in my abilities to create change in people's life who need it. Not who need it, who want it. Like, people who want it. I love coaching people who want to change. I love investing in our entrepreneurs in training. Like this morning, we were with 45 women. They volunteered to be there. Nobody forced them to be in the gym with us this morning, and to get vulnerable, to choose a different path. They chose to be there, and I'll give you everything I got. You tell me that you want it, I'll give you everything I got.
Message to the viewers. Powerful impact message.
Yeah. Your life matters, and whether you believe you are living your purpose or not, or whether you're still searching for your purpose, you can't not fulfill your purpose on this earth, whatever it's for, whatever it is right now. You're living it, you're doing it, and if you've ever looked at a part of your life as a waste, that was a waste of time, that was a waste of my life, if you choose to look at it as a waste, it is. But if you choose to say, I'm going to turn that into something purposeful and something meaningful and use it as a lesson to help others, maybe you were going through a rough time and you were able to get out of that rough time, that's a roadmap. And if you choose not to share it, I think that's very selfish.
Yeah, you're awesome, dude. Yeah. You're awesome.
job.
J like the letter, I'm making several waves. I know the mission is same. I made a splash, now all of my passes last like running a race with Usain. I keep it coming like this a buffet. And if I'm stumbling, I'm in the graves. Never gon' fumble it, I get the bag and I run with it. Gunning it, gunning it, gunning it, gunning it. Murray with the legs, all about finesse, I am not impressed. I don't need a rash coming in with last, then you see the flash. Elohim with the melody and the kiss supply the breath. 70, keep it heavenly, everybody get the bread.
Covered in ass. Yeah, they're all over right there. I was like, something's on me. Oh. We might need to stand.
I must stink. They're not on me yet.